Hey everybody, it is me, Vincent, and today I actually wanted to talk to you about something that's kind of been on my mind recently. You see, I think Universal is creating a little bit of a problem for itself. Every single year, they keep adding more and more to these parks, and now I feel like we've gotten to a point where there might be too much to do here at Universal in a single day. And when you're coming here to the parks, you're probably wondering, how do I fit this all in one day? Instead of trying to fit every single thing into one day, how about I help you pick out what are the best things to do? In this video, I want to share with you guys what I think are the must-do attractions and experiences in each land at both Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure if you only had to pick one. Every section of the parks have something to offer, whether it be rides or shows, snacks, and I want to help you out if you have never been here before, it's been a really, really long time since you've been here, or you've only got one day to see the best that Universal has to offer. So welcome to another episode of Vincent Vision. Watcha! Alright, so we're starting this video off at Islands of Adventure here in Port of Entry. And yes, Port of Entry is one of the lands here at the park, so we're going to talk about a must-do here. Though, admittedly, there really isn't that much to do at this section of the park. Like, sure, you can get your height checked at the entrance, get some souvenirs, enjoy the wonderful scenery of one of the most themed lands here in the park. But there is one must-do that I think a lot of you watching will relate to, and that is getting some food at Starbucks Coffee. Starbucks made it on the list of must-dos here at the park, but to me, it is a staple of a full theme park day, or just like a theme park morning, you know, getting a coffee or a snack and getting ready for the adventurous day you're gonna have waiting for you. I got a little something for me myself. I got a little small coffee here. I had some coffee at home already, so I just wanted to get a little small guy for the video. But, I mean, Starbucks has somehow found its way into all the big theme parks, and it just feels like this is how you have to start your day here at Universal. So, Port of Entry's must-do, it's gotta be Starbucks. Watch. Now, when I go to Islands of Adventure, I am a go-left kind of guy. So we are moving on to Marvel Superhero Island, a really awesome area of the park that has two of some of the biggest attractions here at Islands of Adventure. But if I only had to pick one, it's gotta be Spider-Man. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, legendary 3D simulator ride, come on. Was it even a discussion? And yeah, I know you're thinking, oh, what about the Hulk? What about the Hulk? You know what, don't worry about the Hulk. Hulk's gonna be fine. And also, there's gonna be some bigger and badder roller coasters on this list anyway. Spider-Man is one of the best simulators in the park, if not the best, and I think it just like is pure magic from beginning to end. A great mix of 3D, special effects, physical stuff. You know, Spider-Man, the most popular superhero of all time, maybe. Spider-Man is one of my favorite rides here at the park, and because of that, it is the must-do experience in Marvel Superhero Island. Watch. Ahoy, mateys! We have made it over to Toon Lagoon, which some of you might know as the part of the park that has the wettest water rides you will ever ride in your entire life. And if you had to do one of them, this might be a controversial opinion because, believe it or not, there are people who are very passionate about these water rides. Though I have to pick Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls over Popeye and Bluto's Bilge Rat Barges. Now let me explain, okay? They're both gonna get you super, super wet, but I think Dudley Do-Right's has like the less amount of water. Popeye is just like a big bathtub. Basically, you're gonna get head to toe soaked no matter how you cut it. Dudley Do-Right, at least, has some chance of not getting you as wet, and it's got some really fun drops. You know, it's got 3 drops on the ride. They're really big, fun, exciting, a really classic log flume experience. More exciting and more thrilling compared to Popeye's bumping through the rapids, which is a ton of fun as well. This was a very close pick, I have to say. If you really don't want to do any of the water rides here in Toon Lagoon, but still want to have an experience in this section of the park, I totally understand. I'm going to offer you an alternative. Instead of riding the water rides, how about you watch people get soaked? This is a really great sightseeing area of the park, really great area to people watch, and there are a lot of really good vantage spots where you can just like watch people get soaked on Popeye. One of my favorites is a little further back behind the entrance to the Popeye ride, there's a bridge that you can watch people getting to like the first spot where you get really, really wet. You go over a waterfall. I could stay there for like 30 minutes and just watch people get soaked, freak out. So much fun. But if you had to pick one of the water rides to do, I would say Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls is the way to go. Next up is one of my favorite lands here in Universal. It's Jurassic Park, home of the dinosaurs. And while two of my favorite rides are here, I have got to hand it to, I mean, come on guys. It's got to be the Velocicoaster as the must-do Jurassic Park experience. It is one of the best roller coasters in the world. I truly do believe that. And I think a lot of people would agree with me. It is thrilling, it is exciting, it is like a 10 out of 10 experience. And if you are coming to Universal, you're probably looking for thrills, and you have found it here at the Velocicoaster. Such a great ride experience, and the queue is really awesome as well. You still get that Jurassic Park experience. You get to see some dinosaurs, some velociraptors in person, and then you go on a crazy roller coaster that goes upside down 4 times, shoots you out at 70 miles an hour, big drops, big flips. Life's good on the Velocicoaster. Really crazy, amazing experience. One of the best rides at Universal. Velocicoaster is quite obviously the must-do in Jurassic Park. So here in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Hogsmeade Village, which by the way, that is like the full legal name of this section of the park, there are what I would say a lot of must-do experiences for guests when they come here. But if you had to pick one, it has got to be Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Come on, guys. I mean, Hagrid's really is like the ultimate experience here at Universal. It's got the thrills of a roller coaster, but not too extreme. Exciting enough that families can ride. It's got the storytelling with the animatronics, the Hagrid, and it's just so much fun. The forwards, the backwards, the other things the ride does. Seriously, Hagrid's is like the one ride that I truly think is worth the wait here at the parks. Whatever wait time it has, it is for good reason. It is because it is an essential experience here at Universal, and this is like the must-do of the must-dos at Universal. Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, mwah, 11 out of 10. Now we have made it over to the Lost Continent, a not as populated area of the park as the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and that's because right now there's really not too much to do here. There used to be an attraction. It was Poseidon's Fury, Escape from Lost City. That's gone now. That closed in 2023. And now all we really have left are some shops and some places to grab some food. But I would say if there was a must-do experience here in this section of the park, and this one is a little bit more situational, it is worth trying to do lunch or dinner at Mythos Restaurant. There aren't that many sit-down restaurants inside the Universal Parks. Mythos is one of them, and it also happens to be, in my opinion, one of the best restaurants here at Universal. And so does that banner that hangs above the entrance. This is a full-service sit-down restaurant where you're getting waiter service. The food is delicious. I've gone here a handful of times. I really enjoy it. I think this is a great restaurant to go to. One of the nicer restaurants, even compared to the ones out in City Walk, which I really enjoy. Mythos is a truly special theme park dining experience, and I think it is definitely worth doing if you are looking for a sit-down proper meal here in the parks. And now we have made it over to Seuss Landing, an area of the park that I actually really like a lot, and there are actually a lot of really great options here for must-dos. The way I look at this part of the park is this is a really great like break area, especially if you're more thrill and big ride oriented like I am. But if I had to pick one ride to do here, it's got to be the Cat in the Hat. That is your traditional dark ride experience. It is a classic. It's been here since the beginning. It is so much fun, super easy, a really great chill break ride, and fun for kids. It also usually doesn't have a very long line, and if it does have a long line, well, you're just like at Universal at one of the busiest times of year. I love the Cat in the Hat ride. I think it is the must-do experience here in Seuss Landing. Hooray for Hollywood and the first section of Universal Studios Florida that we are gonna hit up. This area of the park is great for your character meet and greets, getting to see some famous Hollywood locations recreated here at Universal. And this is also where you will find 2 of the big shows in this park. And out of the 2, as much as it pains me to say this, I have got to say that the Bourne Stuntacular is the must-do experience. I think Bourne Stuntacular is so underrated as an experience here in the park. It is a super cool action-packed live action stunt show with really cool, with really great technology. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like blown away. And I would say if you're looking for a show to see here at Universal, if you can only see one show, Born Stuntacular is like the best bang for your buck. All right, I love the horror makeup show, don't get me wrong. It is hilarious and it is a very close number 2. But I think Born Stuntacular is just like spectacular. It is a spectacular stuntacular. I guess that's why it's called Stuntacular, right? Born Stuntacular really is worth seeing if you've never seen it before. Would totally recommend it if you are looking for something to do in the Hollywood area of the park. Now we have found our way over to the KidZone area of the park, or I guess what was the KidZone area of the park? Technically now it's going to be DreamWorks Land, but it's not quite there yet, and because of that, there really isn't that much to do in this area of the park, but that's okay because the thing that is available to do would be my must-do for this section of the park, and that is, of course, E.T. Adventure. The classic, the legendary E.T. Adventure, the only dark ride left from when this park first opened up in 1990. It is a classic attraction. It is a fan favorite. I love it. It is super fun. It is relaxing. It is pretty. It is scenic. It smells good. You know, it is a classic Universal Studios attraction. I think this is a must-do for any trip. E.T. Adventure is the way to go. But I am excited to see what comes of the DreamWorks Land. Maybe that'll change. Man, it's not going to change. E.T. will always be the must-do in this section of the park. Now we have made it over to the Simpsons area of the park, Springfield. Very popular area, a lot of stuff to do here. And it would seem like the obvious choice out of all the must-dos is the Simpsons ride, right? Well, I'm actually going to flip it around here. And I'm not going to say that any of the rides are a must-do. This area of the park is the best area for a little snack break. There are the rides at Simpsons. There's the Simpsons ride, there's Kang and Kodo's, a spinning ride, but I think the Springfield section of this park adds a little bit more to your experience here at the park. Duff Beer. You can go into Moe's and sit down and have an actual Duff Beer made for the park. There is the very famous Lard Lad Donuts with a big pink donut, very big. It's like the size of your head. There is a Flaming Moe as well. Have you ever had a Flaming Moe? They serve it at Fast Food Boulevard. It's from the show and it has this really great presentation. It's kind of like an orange creamsicle drink and it's tasty and really you might be paying just for like the presentation of it. But it is fun, kids like it. It's a family-friendly drink, you know, for all the kids who can't get to drink the Duff Beer here in Springfield. I think this is a really cool area of the park to get a snack. You're having a busy theme park day, and you want a place with a lot of food options. Springfield is the spot. Now, when it comes to this next area of the park, World Expo, it used to be a lot bigger back when we had the Back to the Future ride. Now, there's only one thing to do, but luckily, it's a pretty awesome experience. It is Men in Black Alien Attack, and I think that is the best shooter ride here in the park. It's also one of the only, but that doesn't matter. It's still a great experience. It's all animatronics. It's got a really great queue. It's got a lot of good going for it. It's got a really great story set up. Men in Black is, I still think, one of this park's major attractions, one of Universal Studios' must-do experiences when you're here. Still worth a visit. Men in Black Alien Attack, it is the must-do for the World Expo area of the park. Next up is Diagon Alley, the second half of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and well, this is one of the best theme park lands ever. As far as must-dos go, I mean, like, the whole place is a must-do. You know what I mean? Going through the stores and the shops and all of that. But if I want to get technical and I want to keep it consistent with the rest of this video, I mean, it's got to be Gringotts, right? Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts is like the big ride at this park, and it's a really awesome experience. It's a really great 3D ride. It's a really good roller coaster, a good family thrill, just enough excitement on both ends for families. It's got a really amazing queue with the bank lobby and all the goblins. Escape from Gringotts obviously is a standout attraction, one of the best rides here at Universal, and an absolute must-do in Diagon Alley. But like, the whole land is a must-do. Spend some time in Diagon Alley, please. So the next land over is San Francisco, and this is going to be a unique area of the park because this is going to be where I have the one and only skip in this video. I think for me personally, there really isn't much to do in this section of the park. I guess if you had to do one thing, and this is for adults, there is a very popular bar here called Chez Alcatraz. This is sort of your only reference holdover of the old Jaws attraction that used to exist. A lot of love here, including the very popular Ocean Attack drink. I'm sure you've seen it on dozens of videos on social media. This is a drink you can get here that comes with a little show from the very friendly bartenders. That's a really great spot if you're looking to get a drink here in the park. I think it's worth checking out. They also have the big Jaws shark that used to hang out at the entrance of the ride. But aside from that, as far as like attractions and things like that go, there are not really any must-do experiences here. Another one of my favorite areas of Universal is the New York section of the park, and I would say this must-do is also one of my favorite rides. It's got to be the Revenge of the Mummy. The indoor roller coaster ride is so good. It is classic Universal Studios. It's one of the best rides here, no doubt. You are getting a truly satisfying experience from head to toe. You're getting a little bit of the dark ride experience, you're getting the fire, you're getting the mummies, and you're getting some roller coaster, but not too much roller coaster, you know what I mean? It's thrilling enough where I can ride this multiple times and not feel sick or get a headache or something like that. And of course, you've got the iconic Brendan Fraser at the end of the ride. Revenge of the Mummy. Mwah. One of my favorite rides here. Almost like a must-do every time I come to the parks, except for right now because it's very, very busy. But I love the Mummy. You love the Mummy. It's the must-do here in New York City. Watch. Now, this next section of the park is an area that I hadn't really thought about until I was making this video, and that is Production Central. Before we had Minion Land, when it was just the one Minion ride and Shrek and Transformers and Rocket, all of this kind of made like the front of the park Production Central. And now, I guess technically it's just Rip Ride Rocket and Transformers, and out of the two, I would have to pick Transformers as the must-do. Now, it is very, very similar to Spider-Man. In fact, it's like the exact same ride system, and it's crazy to me that people would like put Transformers over Spider-Man, but it is a cool 3D ride. It's got a lot going on. It's very action-packed. It definitely feels like a slightly more exciting version of the Spider-Man ride. I would definitely take that over Rip Ride Rocket, which I think out of all the roller coasters here at Universal, it's kind of on the lower end. You know, you're gonna get a much better time with the Velocicoaster and Hagrid's than you are doing Rip Ride Rocket. But I mean, it's great for people who love roller coasters as well. But I would say if you had to do only one, it's Transformers, right over here. Watch. And finally, we have made it back to the front of the park, and we are ending this video with the newest addition to Universal, Minion Land. This is where you're gonna find all your Minion stuff, and I would say that the must-do experience here, despite all the new additions, is still Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, the original Minion attraction. I think it is the Minion experience here at Universal, and it always has been. And all of this extra stuff is nice, and I really, really enjoy it, but like, you're getting Gru and the Minions and a full ride experience with Minion Mayhem. Now, if you are not interested in waiting in a very long line for Minions like it normally does get, I would actually recommend the Minion Land as my second choice, particularly lunch at the Minion Cafe. I love the Minion Cafe. I think it is like my favorite quick service restaurant at Universal right now. It's a really great spot, really delicious food, wonderful, cute theming, like, oh, all this Minion stuff here is really, really awesome. If you're not interested in doing any of the Minion stuff, and even if you don't really care for Minions, I like the menu here at Minion Cafe a lot. This is a really great spot. I would totally recommend it. Woo! And there you have it, folks. That is our little whirlwind tour of both parks, with me giving you my suggestions on what to experience in each land. I had to sit down after this one here. But seriously, thank you guys for watching, and more importantly right now, thank you to all of the brand new people who have signed up to my Patreon and joined the $5 Watchow Club. From my first video when I announced my Patreon to now, I went from 4 patrons, 4 supporters to 25 supporters. Wow! To me, that's a big number. I like that. I like that a lot. And hopefully more of you watching this video join, because it would really, really mean a lot to me. But for those of you who aren't quite ready to take the plunge just yet, that is totally fine. Please, if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want more Universal videos like this in your life. I would love to know how you guys feel about my choices in today's video. What are your must-dos in the park? Does it sync up with mine? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys for watching another Vincent Vision, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye.